Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy and today we're going to be doing something very different here on the channel. Now this video is intended to be much more fun, creative, open-minded, at least from your perspective hopefully, and ultimately I just kind of had an idea, was thinking about what I want for the game, and you can already probably tell by the title. I wanted to make a hero concept, a kit concept, ability concept, whatever you want to call it, for the potential hero, the chimpanzee Hammond. So we all kind of remember Hammond from the Horizon Lunar Colony or the Horizon Lunar Base, and he was kind of being teased as a potential hero, and I definitely think that's still possible. And I just got to thinking, well, you know, I think, and we've already talked about this in a prior video, I'll link that in the YouTube card, I think that the game needs a support. And we're in a place where, after over a year, the game has only gotten one support, and out of the support tree, only 4 of those supports are actual healers. So we're in that space. We need a support, and I think a cute, cool, little happy chimpanzee could be the hero that we need for the game. So that said, I want to share a concept that is not perfect. It's definitely, you know, would need some thinking on, and it's a very kind of rough draft concept, but I think it's cool, and I think it's very unique, and I think in order for it to make sense, you need to be very open-minded. And there's some of it that I really haven't even figured out yet. And all in all, like I said, I just wanted this to be a very fun video and a very fun kind of concept development. So, Hammond. He's a support. He's a very smart chimpanzee. Obviously, I think his niche is being, you know, a scientist, much like Winston, being able to create tech and use tech in a very interesting way. And I may put some footage on screen. I'll see if I can find something worth showing. There's a hero in Heroes of the Storm, and his name is Abathur, and the way he controls and interacts on the battlefield is by utilizing the positioning of his allies to find strengths and, you know, create, you know, win conditions and do damage and position himself around the field. It's very interesting. It's very different. Now, in Overwatch, this would be a very radical kind of idea, but I want Hammond's shift or first ability to be a backpacking kind of ability. I want Hammond to jump on the back of an ally, and when he's on their back, he can utilize what I'm going to create is his primary fire, and it's going to be some form of pistol or some form of, you know, weapon, or it may be a kind of a flying drone that sits around him that shoots lasers, similar to like a, you know, think of something from Star Wars, but kind of similar to like a Symmetra turret, something that floats next to him that's got a gun and shoots, something that gives him his damage output. And when he's on his ally, he essentially will be able to interact with what's coming up in his kit a little bit later on, but is mostly used for positioning. Now, in terms of balance, I don't think it would be possible to have him flying around the map with Pharah or, you know, double jumping around with Genji, so I think there would have to be some kind of a height restriction on how high he would be able to go, ultimately, and so maybe if he goes, you know, past a certain height threshold, he jumps off and dismounts and kind of lands on the ground. So, that said, he's going to be a small chimpanzee. I think he's got to be fast, and while I haven't quite planned out what I want him to be able to do with his passive that I would think he would have, it may be a double jump, it may be, you know, quick movement speed by kind of running on all fours as a chimp, or the ability to climb walls, something like that I don't think would be too radical, and that's definitely kind of up for preference in terms of game design. So kind of use your imagination on this passive that I haven't even decided on. So now, his second ability, I want it to be a healing syringe. Now, this healing syringe is just exactly what it says. He's created some kind of a concoction, some kind of a, you know, potion to heal, essentially. And it's going to have 2 charges, and it's going to be an instant healing. Now, the 2 charges are going to be kind of similar to, I suppose, how you would think of like Doomfist ammo or Tracer Blink, and they will come back over time, they'll refill over time. And the healing from the syringe is going to heal for 50 instantly. Now, this is a really cool part of how I want his kit to interact, because I think it would be really interesting if Hammond is on his own on the ground and he presses his healing syringe and it instantly heals him, or he could use his backpack ability, jump on an ally, press the E or the second ability, and instantly heal his ally. Now, obviously, in terms of burst healing, he could jump on an ally and double press it and heal them for 100, or he could dismount if he's taking damage and heal himself for 100, or 50-50 on either. And I think it'd be a really interesting healing style, very mobile, jumping around the map, basically the Genji or the Doomfist of healing, jumping around the map, being super mobile, running around. I think that could be super cool. Now, coming up with an ultimate idea for Hammond was really hard because the healing ults seem to kind of cover a lot of bases, and there's a lot of things in Overwatch that are already AoE based, so I didn't want to put like an AoE healing station, although that makes a lot of sense and could definitely be an option. So I came up with a different idea. What if he created a single target health shield? Now this shield would be kind of similar to, let's say, a Symmetra shield and like a Zarya bubble put together. It'd be a very telegraphed big yellow bubble that goes on someone that you backpack and pop the ultimate. It goes onto that ally and is a, let's say, a 150 health shield. And this 150 health shield is indefinite, or 200 health shield, I'm thinking around that range, is indefinite until the shield is broken. So essentially you just boost that person's HP effectively, and it could be armor values, so maybe the damage multiplier is a little different on it. That would have to be looked at in a balance perspective, but I think it could be really cool. Now, as a fun little gag, I've been thinking about what to do with a potential alternate fire, and I think it could be really cool to introduce some kind of peanut butter or banana aspect to his kit. So maybe he could throw like a banana mine, and it is like essentially like an instant slip. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think it could be really cool to position around his Hammond and drop a banana mine, or essentially just kind of like a Junkrat mine or a Junkrat trap, and it would interact kind of like sleep, but wouldn't last nearly as long, so they would just like fall to the ground, slip, and then get back up. Could be a really interesting, kind of like a low cooldown CC type ability used for controlling points or, putting around the corner, and it could be really interesting. So Hammond overall would be mobile. He would be burst healing, I think, up to 100, 150, depending on how his health values worked. He'd have the ability to position really interestingly by riding on the back of a teammate. I mean, literally mounting up on the back of a teammate. He would have some kind of a flying drone helping him do damage, or a pistol that he uses in one hand while he holds on with the other. He'd be creating awesome health shields with his ultimate, and I think he could be super fun and super interesting. Obviously, for a smaller hero, I think he would have to have a pretty low health pool, so I'm thinking he might be like the Tracer, or, similar to Zenyatta in terms of health. But I think it could be really fun, and that's my idea. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like, and subscribe for future content. I had a lot of fun just coming up with what could be our next healer, and I don't think anything like this would ever happen, but it's a radical idea, and that's what I wanted to go for. So thanks again for checking it out, and I'll see you for the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel the fire inside of me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat take you over? You just